Well, happy Monday and welcome to another live stream of the break room. Listen, now, have you ever heard of say yes to the dress or say yes to the address or even the song by Floetry, Say Yes? And they say all you got to do is say yes. Well, I would like to ask, is saying yes the best decision for a multi passionate nurse? All right, we're going to get into it. So, again, I am Deetra Dennis, and I am the self care coach for the multi passionate nurse. And I empower the nurses to prioritize the care of their MVP, their most valuable patient, which is themselves, so that they can show up as the best version of themselves and impact the well-being of those connected to them. So I would like to say welcome again and welcome back to each of you that are on YouTube, that are on Facebook, and that are on LinkedIn. And those of you that are watching the replay, welcome to you as well. So the break room is our nurse self-care safe space. It's an opportunity to take a break, if you will, from the day-to-day activities and, refresh, regroup, and then go back to your task at hand. So today, again, the question is saying yes the best decision for a multi-passionate nurse? And last week we talked about a sign that you are a multi-passionate nurse. So go ahead and watch that video, um, when you have an opportunity if you missed it. And so let me ask you this before we get into going deeper down that. Have you ever felt guilty about saying no, right? Or what are some things why you continually say yes? I'll just say three things that stand out for me. And first of all, I would like to see who's with me. Put in the chat where you're tuning in from. But I'll just say for me, being a multi-passionate nurse, I, would tend to say yes to everything. And, there were times I would say yes and didn't say no. Internally, I was saying, dog, why did I say yes? But I felt guilty if I said no to the person or the organization that would ask me something. And then the second one is that I didn't want to disappoint them. I felt that if I said no, it would disappoint them. And then lastly, it's just out of habit. Being a person with a nurturing personality, many times, we get fulfillment in serving and helping others. And then, we tend to put everyone else first before ourselves. And so those are the three things for me. I would love to know in the chat, what are some things for you, why you would say yes, quickly you would say yes to things. And then after you say yes, internally you're like, oh, why did I say yes? I should have said no. So I would love to hear that from you. Even if you're watching the replay, I would love to hear the feedback on what you would say no, say yes to, and wish, internally. You definitely wouldn't share that with anyone else that you wanted to say no, but internally you're having that inner dialogue like, oh, why did I say yes? I would love to see that in the chat. Now, some things that happen as a result of us always saying yes. There are three things. There are many, but I always like to stick with 3 points because we have a short time together here in the break room. Is that, by doing that, you are overcommitting yourself, and then you're overtired, and then you're not able to show up as the best version of yourself because you were, really exhausted, being everything to everybody. You're exhausted, right? The other thing that happens when you are always saying yes is that, it creates stress for you. And we have, and what happens with the stress, prolonged stress, we've talked about this before about burnout, and then that impacts your health and well-being. And we have a video again a live stream that we talked about that before, and what is burnout doing to your body. So again, if you want to watch that, at your leisure, to watch that. And then lastly, you don't have time for yourself because you, again, you listen, I'm gonna say it like this: you are tired, okay? You're tired without the R. I don't know if anybody's ever been to that point of exhaustion that you tired, not tired, but tired. Take the R out. I'm not sure if you had that experience or not, but when you're saying yes, those are some things that happen. So what I want to leave with you today is to consider this: the next time someone asks you to, be of service or to do a task or whatever it may be that they ask of you, before that, I would say, number one, start practicing in the mirror saying no, because no is a complete sentence, right? So practice in the mirror saying no with love and with confidence. Because let me tell you, I remember my first time ever saying no to someone. Because listen, I would say yes to everything, okay? And like I said, being everything to everybody and just totally exhausted. But the first time that I started would say no, the first time I said no to someone, I was so nervous. I mean, I was just sweating, and thankfully it was over text, but still I was, just had a moment with saying no. That really shook me. Look, I needed to go sit down somewhere after I said no, because I had just a range of emotions when I first said no. So to prevent that, go ahead and practice in the mirror saying no with a smile, with confidence, and with love. Okay, so that's number one. The second thing I would say is slow down before you respond. Because listen, when someone asks us something, we automatically like, yes, yes, I'll do it. And like I said, as I said earlier, you end up saying like, why did I say yes? Knowing that, whatever the issue is, like, why did I say yes? So pause, take some time. And if they don't need a response from you immediately, sleep on it, because once you sleep on it, you have an opportunity, your subconscious has an opportunity to process things. And then when you awaken refreshed and can have clarity of thought and really be able to respond to the person, be it yes or no, on that next day after you've had an opportunity to sleep on it. And the last one, I would say, consider these questions as you're processing, and when you pause or pump the brakes before you answer. I would say, consider whether you have the time, you have the energy, or if it's money, if you have the money, or if it's something of interest, that the person is asking you to do. Consider those things before you respond. So, to answer the question that we started this conversation off with is saying yes the best decision for a multi-passionate nurse? And I will say it depends, because after you've had an opportunity to go through that list of processing, pausing, and then asking those questions, considering those questions, then you can determine whether, okay, well, I can say yes, I can do that. Or then if it's no, then you're able to confidently say no, because you've practiced in the mirror saying no, because it is a complete sentence. Remember that, okay? That no is a complete sentence. So that's all I have for you. Were there any questions or anything that you have? I'm looking here to see if anything in the chat. And so the other thing I wanted to just mention with you as well, because I didn't say this in the beginning, is to like the video and share it with someone who you feel could benefit from what we've talked about. If you know a nurse that is a multi-passionate nurse, like I said, what we talked about last week, feel free to share this with her. And I know it will be a blessing to her, because these are some things that I have gone through. Is nothing that I'm sharing that I haven't gone through myself in being a multi-passionate nurse, and having to learn how to pause and pump the brakes before I said yes. Because many times when I was saying yes all the time, like I mentioned, I would be overcommitted and just exhausted and not showing up as the best version of myself. And I always want to be able to bring the best of me to everything that I do, and giving excellence, having excellence and quality in everything that I do. So again, share this with someone else that is a multi-passionate nurse that could benefit from the things that I'm sharing. And so again, like the video, share and comment below. You know, again, this is not just me talking before you. I would love to have feedback on, you know, number one, like I mentioned before, when you have said yes, why do you say yes all the time? Is it because you feel guilty in saying no? I would love to hear the feedback from you on that as well. And so, you know, I always like to end with a quote. So this one is, when saying yes to others, make sure you're not saying no to your wellness. All right. So if there aren't any questions or comments, and I'm looking before I end, I don't see any. And so I look forward to seeing you on next Monday. We're here live every Monday at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I look forward to seeing you then, and have a wonderful week.